Welcome back, Death Toll Racing. We're putting a hard top on our tracker today. So this is a two-piece hard top from Rally Tops. The way I have it optioned out, it was $1,095 plus freight to my door. So I got the third brake light, and I got the side windows and the tinted windows and all that fun stuff. So anyway, check it out. And Rally Tops, if you're watching this, A plus on your crating, whoever you got doing your crating. They did a great job, and also custom shipping or whatever that company was. They did a phenomenal job getting that here. There was not a nick in the plastic on that entire crate. So they did a really, really good job crating it, a really good job shipping it. But anyway, the install goes great, so check it out. Okay, so that wasn't so bad. The only problem I had is I wasn't able to run, or we weren't able to run without getting aggressive or modifying stuff. These corner rubbers, you're supposed to be able to leave those on there, but I wasn't able to, and I don't think it's the top that's the problem. I think it's my tracker. I am fairly confident at some point this thing was hit pretty good in the pit, or not hard, but it was hit in the back. It's all been repainted back here. And I think it was hit, and I think everything is kind of bent in a little bit on this thing. I just see everywhere where, probably when this thing was newer, they did that, and it was soft top, probably didn't matter that much at the time, everything worked just the way it was supposed to. But now, the problem is, with this in there, I'm too short from the back side of this metal here to the angle to the front of the front. And so the top doesn't fit in there with this end. It fits, but it's really, really getting squeezed, and I feel like I'm having to tighten the bolts way too hard to pull the front down, and I don't want to break the top just because I was trying to use this rubber piece. So I'm probably not going to be super watertight in there. I'm not really worried about it. This thing sits inside the shop when I'm not using it. It doesn't just sit out in the rain. So I'm not worried about it. So that's good enough for me. Most of the water will stay out. We're just going to be rhino lining the inside of this rig, so it doesn't matter one bit that that's not 100% watertight. So it's not going to rattle. Everything is tight. There's like rubber on the back side of it anyway. So there's your door. But the problem is you have to open your door all the way and then shut the lid and then shut your door. And that's good. That leaves you from having to have a handle there. And if you had your spare on here, you wouldn't be able to open it with the door there anyway, because the hatch would just hit the spare. So now we need to hook up the third brake light. All right, I'm going to do this a little different than their instructions and the parts that they give you. I am going to not use the wire taps they give me. I'm going to use my style, which is a disconnect. That way I don't have an extra piece of wire with some disconnects and all that stuff. This is more than long enough to reach, and that way we can just disconnect it there. So green and white wire on this plug. If you have this plug, this is, I believe, the trailer wiring plug, because it seems to have all the electrical there. These pliers are the best for squeezing these guys on there, and I'll show you why here. So you just get them in there like that, and then boop, and they're on there. But before I do that, I always like to put some dielectric on it. And that will actually make these a little bit waterproof. They're not terribly waterproof, but believe it or not, dielectric grease will make damn near any connector waterproof. So let's just put that on there. And then just go till it clicks. It hydraulics the grease out, so the click isn't as prominent as it would be if you hadn't have put dielectric on it. But it still will click. Then the black wire on here, I believe, is the ground. I'm going to go ahead and assume that, and hopefully we don't burn up the light bulb. But it should be. But watch till the end to make sure that isn't bad. If I can get this thing far enough apart. There we go. There we go. So now on here, I just have to put the male connectors. So we'll start it. Okay. And then just for good measure, we'll put some in here too. Alright, so now the red wire will go to the green and white. Oh, make sure it was in there. And then the black wire will go to the black one. All right, let's test it and make sure it works. Brake light, brake light. Brake light. Perfect. All right, so that wraps up the top. The only thing left to do really is I want to take it for a test drive, because it will be interesting to see how much quieter this thing is. Definitely quieter. That's with my window down. Roll it out. I have no carpet or really any floor covering at all in here. my little budget UTV is now also my parts go-getter, and it's just a cool little rig. Everywhere we go, everyone always is looking at this thing, just like, and they're always commenting on how cool it is. And I guess you just don't see them very often, especially around here in Spokane, and everyone drives big trucks and stuff out here. So this thing just looks like a micro machine. So it is a funny little rig and street legal UTV. So you can't get any better than that. So next video out is the rear bumper video on the tracker, and then the video after that is going to be the Safari wagon, 4x4 wagon at the dyno.